Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's TheKidEG, aka EGTV, and you know what's going on. We're going to be talking about the match reaction. We're going to be covering everything that happened in the game. You know what happened. We lost the game 1-0 to Manchester City. We're going to break it down a little bit. So first, we're going to go through the match reaction, talk a little about Xhaka's performance, talk a little bit about Saka's performance, talk about the whole Pep Guardiola and the ones and twos with these two guys, you know what I mean? And then we're going to also talk about the fact that Partey did not start the game. He did not play. What ended up happening, Aubameyang missing that good chance, Saka missing that good chance. And we're just going to talk about the game and break it down, what happened. So what's going on, Samuel? How you doing?
I'm doing good,
Yeah.
I saw yesterday's game and I'm just so frustrated.
Yeah, so I'm going to cue that intro. What's going on, everybody? I need you guys to go check out my channel and subscribe if you're new. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that button, and hit that notification bell while you're at it, ladies and gentlemen. EGTV, you already know. And if you're on your phone, it's even easier. Press that like button for me. And you know what? Subscribe while you're still here. And big up to everybody watching. Check out most of my content. I'll be throwing out more content every single day. Okay, so yeah. So we're going to keep it going, Samuel. We're going to keep it going, and we're going to just go through, first things first, the match reaction. So I'm going to break down the game for us, break it down from the beginning to the end. We're going to go through the timeline. So if you guys remember, if we go way at the beginning of the game, when the game started, first thing we seen was the team lineup and the team sheet, and the first major change that happened was Partey was not in. Aubameyang was not playing up front. It was Willian.
Rob Holding got injured in warm-up.
And Rob Holding got injured, and David Luiz came in. So we had Willian playing as a 10. They had Ruben Diaz come right in, straight from his signing, start right away from the first game. We've seen Riyad Mahrez give us some trouble at the beginning of the game with near post shots. Then you also had the goal. So what happened for the goal for Raheem Sterling was, it was a situation where I think Foden took a shot. It hit past Bellerin. Leno split the shot straight to Sterling. Then Gabriel had a choice, either attack Sterling or try to get to the touchline and block the shot. He couldn't do neither, and then Sterling slotted it in, made it 1-0. After the 1-0, we kind of gathered ourselves. We got ourselves together. We tried to get ourselves together, and we held out. But don't forget what happened after that. We had a situation where in the second half, we started to play a little bit more attacking, and then Saka got an opportunity. I forget exactly what minute it was that, but
it was in the first half, like it was 30th minute. Something.
It was in the first it was in the first half. I forget exactly how the timeline went, but Saka was really heartbroken that he missed that chance. It was a really good chance, one-on-one. Edison did a really good job as goalkeeper to stop that shot, and Saka, he was so upset with himself.
He can have his head up today because it was the best player on the pitch by far, because no one came close to him than being better than Saka yesterday.
Yeah, we're going to talk about man of the match in a second. Let me just get through the rest of the game. So what happened after that was, if you guys could see, then Aubameyang had a situation where he was in the second half, which I thought this chance was actually a lot easier, and it almost looked like it was offside, but it was a lot easier of a chance, if you remember. And I'll just put up that picture right now. So Aubameyang was through one-on-one against Edison. It was a close decision if the offside flag came up, but after we seen that it would have been onside and goal would have counted if he would have scored. And you know what? Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang had a very poor game, and it was kind of sad that he hasn't shown up yet. He's only had one goal so far this season.
You really can't blame him, because this guy's playing on the left wing when he's a striker, and he's been made to play on the left to accommodate Willian, who's not even a striker.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very confusing yesterday.
Yeah, so today the bald fraud was not the bald fraud in Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola did outclass
Arteta today. He got, lucky, really.
Yo, we got Gunnar Ants in the house. What's good, bro?
Yes, yes. What's happening, boys?
What's going on?
Chilling. Okay,
Yes,
so yeah,
man.
so now we're gonna move on from the game review and we're gonna go straight into the statistics. Now, if you guys remember, this game, we got at times we didn't have the ball, but you know what? It evened out near the end of the game, and it got 59-41. It wasn't as bad as like the Liverpool performance, right? We had a lot about ourselves. We did not concede more than one goal. We were still in the game until the end of the game. We could have nicked the draw at the end, but we did not have enough creativity at the end of the day. Manchester City created 13 shots. We created 11, but clear-cut chances. We had 3. They had 5. And it just goes to show you, at the end of the day, you have to be clinical against these kind of teams, or you're never going to win a big game away from home. But guys, what did you guys think about that and the statistics, what it shows?
Well, I think, to be fair, I think the game was closer than it looked. Going back to sort of the statistics, like you said, it's us having 11 shots. The only thing sort of I wasn't too happy about was the fact we were a bit toothless. We had no striker to aim for. So, yeah, that's, I don't know if we're sort of going to get into that, but yeah, we had no striker to aim for. It was like every 11 man behind the ball and no outlet, really. I know we were using sort of the flanks as sort of Pepe and Aubameyang on each side, but when you've got no focal point, it made it difficult. It made it really difficult. The fact we had Willian up front, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it definitely did. Now, what was your analysis of the game? If you could do a quick synopsis of what you thought, Samuel.
Well, really, I mean, it was negative. I mean, you know, we could have had a go at it. We could have gotten a result if we just had a goal. I mean, it was when we tried to have a goal, it was all too late. It looked too little, too late.
No, continue.
And also just one thing on the referee. I think if you're not going to use it for that Gabriel challenge before the end of the second half, because that could have changed the game, in my opinion. We would have gone a penalty and gone half-time 1-1.
Okay, so I was going to leave this for a little bit later, but if you guys want to talk about it now, let's talk about it now.
Yeah,
was this a penalty, yes or no? Clear cut, yes or no? If I could get that from Samuel, what do you think? Yes or no? Was this a penalty?
The thing is, if Gabriel went down, I think we would have gone a penalty. But the reason is Gabriel didn't really go down and show any reaction to it. If we were more, say, he reacted to it, then I think we would have gone a penalty.
Okay, so you think it was his reaction that didn't get us the penalty?
Yeah.
Okay, what about yourself, bro?
I think, to be fair, I think the way it happened right at the end of the half, I think that didn't help because the whistle got blown straight away once it happened. So there was no time to even sort of look at it. But that doesn't take away the fact United against, who was it, Brighton, the game was over and they sort of went back to it. So I don't know. This sort of VAR, I'm not going to blame VAR. I'll blame the people behind VAR. It's just a bit inconsistent, mate. It's a bit inconsistent. Not too happy.
No, I know. It's just ridiculous.
Clear penalty, mate. Clear penalty.
Yeah. By the way, Mitrovic just missed the penalty
for me, though. Yeah.
You don't always score your penalties, just to let you know. Because even if we got the penalty, would we have scored it? We don't know. One thing we do know is that a lot of people do miss penalties. And Bruno missed one yesterday. Mitrovic missed one right now. Just these things happen. But for us, we never even get given the penalties. So we can't complain.
Can I put up a stat, Egal?
What?
Can I put up a stat in the Premier League? So basically, Man United have got more penalties in 12 months than Arsenal have in the last 8 years.
That sounds about right, man.
That sounds right. I don't remember us getting penalties, but I got some decisions here. I just want to show you guys some of these decisions, right? We just got to get this up 1 second. Okay, so this right here is some of the challenges and some of the things that happen. So we're going to just go back, take you past memory lane to see what you guys remember from this, right? So if you remember, we had a situation, the Liverpool game, where we. 1 second, let me just get it up on the screen. So the Liverpool game, we had the Mane situation, right?
I think that was a red card. I think he's made no attempt to try hold him off. He clearly knows what he's doing. I think that was a red card. And even then, Liverpool fans were complaining that if that was yesterday in the Merseyside derby, I guarantee all the Liverpool fans will be pulling this up, saying, "How is that not a red?" So it's a bunch of hypocrites. That's what Liverpool fans are.
Yeah.
I think that was a red.
Okay, and then what about yourself, bro?
Working. Sorry, yeah, this was a straight red, standard. But VAR has been working for Liverpool probably up until yesterday, because I did watch that game, and yeah, they did sort of get robbed right at the end with that offside. I don't know how you lot feel about it, but I think Mane was onside for that little. I know we're not sort of getting into that, but they did get robbed right at the end. But it's good. I'm glad.
Yo, we got the late edition, Kesh. Kesh, what's good? We're just looking at some of these decisions. Like, if you remember Trent on Saka.
Yes.
What's so different from what Thing did to Thiago?
No difference. No difference.
You
The
know what I mean?
referee is just inconsistent. I've said it for time. There need to be some sort of repercussion for not getting these decisions right. These are big games, and you've got to get them right.
Definitely, I agree with that.
Okay, and then the final one, the one that was given as a red. Let me show you guys which one was given as a red from all those decisions. This was given as a red.
Yeah.
So from everything you just seen, this is the only one that was given as a red. What is the coincidence in that?
Arsenal. There's a campaign against Arsenal from the referees. That's what I believe. Because when there's different rules for other teams and one set of rules for Arsenal, this is how it is.
No, it's not even that. Yeah, you know what it is.
What is it?
It comes with winning. That's what it comes with. It comes with winning, being champions. I feel like the referee pays you more respect. That's what it is. So it's not just Arsenal that's on the unfair side of these treatments. There's other teams as well. But when you're the likes of Liverpool and City, you're gonna get these going in your favour. And that's the way I look at it. But
yo, what is this? This is not the NBA, bro, where LeBron James gets every call.
No, I do understand that, but that's the way it is. It's reality.
No, there is truth to that. There is definitely truth to that. You see that with, like you're saying, with Liverpool and City, they do get the big calls. You
watch City games, yeah. You see Fernandinho, he will make a professional foul. Now, I don't blame him. Like, you stop and break up the play, but it's by giving you a foul. But how many times do you go on during the 90 minutes doing that before you get a booking? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But the thing is, it doesn't take away. I do feel like there is an agenda against us as well. It's like they can't allow us to have these results for some reason. You know, these small things all end up becoming a massive thing, because 3 points dropped or a point dropped from yesterday, that could end up messing up our run.
No,
do you know what I mean? Right at the end.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
But you know what? We're gonna have to just move on. Things happen. You don't win games. At least it was respectable. We did not lose the way we usually lose away from home against these top teams. It was a 1-0 game.
One thing I have to say is that one thing to expect over the next 3 years is that we will lose games like this. We won't lose 4-0, but we'll lose against big teams like by 1 goal. I think we've got to expect more of this in the coming years.
Let me show you something else. Look at their yellow cards. All tactical fouls compared to us. Not one yellow.
No.
But that's the way we'll be.
I think he's the only one that got a yellow.
Even last night, before I went to bed, I started thinking about it as well. I think we've got to get a nastier side to our game. Like, we're not nasty enough. Like, you don't see players like what Mane is doing. It's part of the game. I'm not complaining about Mane tripping me now. It's part of the game.
What do you think about this? This guy thinks it's not an agenda. It's just incompetent referees.
So now I think we've got We've got the best league
go
in the world with the worst referees in the world. That's my opinion. If we get
But
some,
I think they have the worst.
I've been
You
saying
know-
I've been saying this for quite a while. The only way to improve this, I feel like both all top leagues need to just have an alliance of referees, where referees come from abroad and do take games, and our referees go over there. That's how you improve. You get a different feel for each game. And don't forget, our game is so quick. Like, I can't blame the referees for sometimes getting it wrong compared to the other leagues.
but the thing is about English referees, if you remember the World Cup in Russia, not a single referee from England was selected to go.
But
That's
do you
how
know
bad our
why?
referees
Do you
are.
know why though? The real story behind that was because the reason why there was no English referees, the one English referee that was in the Premier League that was selected to go in the draw to be for them actually left the Premier League to go
Premier
to
League, yeah.
Qatar.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
the only English referee that was actually chosen to go was already in Qatar in another league. So he was representing the English game, but he wasn't playing. He wasn't refereeing in the English game at the time.
Mhm.
He went to Qatar to improve their overall refereeing.
True.
What was his name? Weren't Clattenburg, was it?
Yeah, Mark Clattenburg, yeah.
Clattenburg, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about this. We're gonna start from Leno. What did you guys think about the player ratings for Leno? And sorry, this does cover your face, Gunnar Anti, but I'll change it in a second.
cool.
What did he get?
1 second. So yeah, these banners always mess it up. So Leno, what do you guys think about Leno?
What did he get? What was his rating?
On where?
On
Everyone
player
got
rating,
pretty weird ratings. Let's see. What did they give Leno?
What was it?
Sofa Sports. I can't trust Sofa Sports rating.
what does Sky Sports give him?
I didn't check it.
For me, I see a lot of frailties in Leonard's game. Honestly, like I feel like our judgment on Leno has been clouded.
He got a 7.
Our judgment on Leno has been clouded for the years he's been in because we've never had a keeper that's been as good as he has when it comes to shot stopping. But even when he's so good at shot stopping, it's when you look at the finer details, it's not that good because a lot of the times he carries the ball back out into dangerous areas where most of the time on occasions we're lucky that one of our players are there to actually clean up. And as a keeper, you can't consistently keep carrying the ball out. That's not what we expect. We expect a safe hand. You've either got to take it under control and keep it in your grasp, or you've got to parry it wide. You're never in danger if the ball goes wide. You're never in danger. But when the ball goes towards the edge of your box, where you got on-running opponents, you're asking for trouble, which is what we saw yesterday from Sterling. And then when you look at that, even before Sterling even got control of the ball, he's on his knees scrambling. He couldn't get up. If you look at any top keeper, they would have been back up already. Alisson would have been back up already. Ederson would have been back up already, ready to have another attempt to save it. And if you look where Sterling actually placed the ball, if he was back up on his feet, he could have made another attempt to save it. He was in the mud. He couldn't get up.
Okay, Kesh, I'm listening to you, but one thing you also have to factor in is it's Bellerin's fault also.
It is Bellerin's fault. I even got onto him.
That's where I'm going. Yeah.
I've not even got onto Bellerin.
Bellerin.
We're good. 1 second. So, Kesh, what do you give Leno? What do you give Leno's rating?
I'll give him a 6. I'll give him a 6.
Okay, so what is everybody in the comment section giving Leno? Tell us what you guys think in the comment section as we move on to Hector Bellerin. And Ant, I'm gonna let bro. What's your name, by the way? Ant Gunnar.
Ant, yeah, Gunnar Ant.
No, but what's your Anthony? There you go. Okay, Anthony. What do you call it? Tell us what you think about Bellerin, bro.
Bellerin. What, in the game or in general?
Yeah, player rating wise. What would you give him? And just give us a quick synopsis. Yeah.
Player rating wise, I think I'd give him probably a standard 5 because I think he got skinned more than once in that game. He sold himself. He kept, I don't know, with Bellerin, he's a bit hit and miss. I don't think he really sort of done too well, to be fair. I don't think he done too well in that game.
Yeah. I think we all could go in on him about that situation that led up to a goal and him getting turned inside out without the guy even touching the ball yet. So I don't know how a man can pump fake you without even touching the ball. Like you should be smart enough as a defender just to be standing in the right position. And when you're tracking back, if you're gonna track back, don't get caught on the outside of the player. Always stay on the inside.
Yeah.
That is just stupidity in the biggest margins. And you know what? The pass was not even beautiful. The pass that Aguero gave was just straightforward. It was a straightforward pass. He had nothing to. If Tierney was on that right hand side, that would have never happened. If Ainsley was on that right hand side, that would have never happened.
Never.
Ridiculous. But yo, Samuel, what do you think about? So what did you give Anthony? What did you give him?
I've given Bellerin a 5, mate. I've given him a 5 straight down the middle.
Agree.
He weren't terrible. Because I don't want to go in like that. But I think he weren't good enough, mate. He weren't good enough for me. Yeah.
You know what I'll say is, he lost the ball 7 times, And as a fullback, I feel that's a bit too much. As a fullback,
isn't it? And he got
it's
skinned more than
you're
once.
playing in a forward position where your back. Most occasions, your back's going to be facing the play, innit? Like Bellerin's not facing the opposite. He's facing the play, so it should be a lot easier to pick a pass out. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times when he passes it, it's not crisp enough, or he's playing it into spaces that no one's going to get to.
Okay. Next, Samuel. Kieran Tierney, apparently, based on Sofa Sports rankings, was our worst player on the pitch based on statistics. But I absolutely have no idea what game they were watching, because if it wasn't for him, Riyad Mahrez would have scored a couple goals, because Saka was not helping him out defensively at all. What do you think?
I mean, it wasn't his best game on the Arsenal shirt, certainly, but really, we've had worse performances from players on this pitch. By Teeny standards, this was not a good performance. I remember when it was Cancelo that done him up on our box, and we got turned inside out a couple of times, and then really going forward, his passing wasn't there. He always overhit his passes. But then again, looking at the game, could have been far worse if it weren't for Teeny, because he kept on forcing Mahrez onto his right foot, and it wasn't a bright game. So I'll give Kieran Tierney just a 5.
Okay, so you give Kieran Tierney a 5. Okay, so I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna go with David Luiz. David Luiz, you know what? Playing out the back was comfortable with David Luiz, Gabriel, and Tierney. Oh, what happened?
I think he legged out.
No, he's still here.
Oh.
Yo, Anthony. Your screen went blank.
Yes.
Can you exit and come back in?
All right.
All right. So, what do you call it? So David Luiz, I don't know about you guys, but I thought David Luiz was quite comfortable on the ball. He didn't make too many mistakes. Leading up to a goal, he didn't make a mistake. The only thing that I was really worried about, he almost conceded an own goal. So that was the one thing that I was worried about. And that was the moment that I said to myself, what's going on with this guy? But I would give David Luiz, all around, it was a terrible performance from a whole defense. But David Luiz was comfortable on the ball. I'll give him a 5. Can't really say he was amazing. Wasn't good. Was a 5. 5 is a fair result.
I'll touch on David Luiz, You know what his biggest problem is?
What?
He goes to win the ball, and he doesn't win it. And when he doesn't win it, he's out of position. Like, there's a few times, I think it was on Aguero and Sterling, he went to win it, but he slightly touches it, but he doesn't win it. And then by then, they've either taken a sharp turn and they're gone. He needs to go in with more aggression. He doesn't go in with enough aggression. Like, when you see the likes of Gabriel goes in there, he goes in to win the ball, not half-hearted. And I think that's something that he needs to improve on. But at the end of the day, David Luiz is David Luiz, isn't it?
Yeah.
What I think about David Luiz is the best out of a worst bad bunch yesterday. I mean, you can't really critique anyone that was good except for bukayo Saka.
Okay, so now the last from the defensive 3, we're gonna go Gabriel, What do you think about Gabriel? Because Anthony, I'm gonna let you take this one. Gabriel, I thought he could have stopped that. He could have, if he was in a better position, he could have stopped Raheem Sterling from getting that ball. So he didn't score. But maybe that's harsh. But you tell me what you thought about Gabriel's.
That's harsh. It's very harsh.
He was caught in two minds. Think about it.
I think that
he was, but he should have been put in that position.
He was.
He saw Snow, Ceballos, and Shackles on their way back. It's like they weren't even interested in getting back. Honestly.
You see,
Anthony
had to make a 50-50 decision. You either cover this side of the goal or that side of the goal, and it's like it's difficult because if he would have gone to that side, Raheem would have probably put it on the other side. It's like, what do you do? But for me, I think he had a solid game. I don't think he was bad. I think he was probably the best out of the defenders, out of the 4 defenders for me. And I think he's solid, man. I think he's had good performances since he's been at Arsenal. I think he's looking good, man. He's looking very good. But yeah, that's it for me. I think it's harsh. It's harsh because where do you go? You either go right or left. But I think Sterling puts it either side of you, man. You know?
Yeah.
Can I also touch on one thing, Egal? Like, we haven't had a good performance in the Premier League since the first match against Fulham. If you look at the rest of the matches against West Ham, Sheffield, Liverpool, and City, we haven't had a good performance. So that's 4 straight games without playing any good. So that's a little concerning.
The creativity is the most concerning thing, in my opinion. But the one guy who was very creative that I think was man of the match candidate, maybe guarantee man of the match performance, in my opinion. But I don't know about you guys. We're going to get to that. But I want everyone to touch on this. In a couple words, what did you think about Saka's performance? Because for me, if I would say anything, I would say he was the shining light.
He was great. He was great. I'll take nothing away from him. I'll take nothing away from him. Even though he missed that shot, yeah. I'll take nothing away because that happens in games, isn't it? You're gonna have a
bad for him.
Where you might not finish. And plus he's a youth coming out of the academy. He's not exactly had many opportunities where he's in that same position, providing the formation that we're playing. It's not like he's playing in a 4-3-3 where, you probably get like 2-3 chances like that per game. It's something that he's going to have to get used to, where he's going to have to learn to be more clinical.
Yeah. No, I definitely felt sorry for him, though. I don't know about you guys. Samuel, what do you think about it?
It was the best player and the only bright light on the team yesterday. I mean, it's encouraging that someone, it was discouraging that the youngest player on the pitch was our best player. I mean, he was a more commanding midfielder with Saka and Ceballos. Really, he's our only creative outlet, you could say. He had good chances. I think it was our only threat going forward. If we had Aubameyang just centrally the whole game, I think he could have done something with him, but, it wasn't meant to be. I think, I'll give Saka overall his performance. Even though we lost, I'll give him an 8.
Okay. Anthony.
Yeah, I think, do you know what? I was happy with Saka's performance because I think...
Okay, continue. Anthony,
it was good to see that, like, a young boy like that, he's come back from international duty, his first call up, and he's ready to get it popping, man. He looked good. I thought he looked good, like and I agree with that sort of 8 out of 10 performance, man. I think he was good, man. He can't do it by himself. He can't carry us.
Okay, so now we got to go to the midfield. Honestly, we could score. I might be kind of different from you guys, but I would give Shaka a 5, and I'll give Shaka a 6, and I'll give Ceballos a 7 because I thought Ceballos had a little bit about him today. Even though we did not play well, Ceballos was. I'm not saying he was very creative or anything like that, but he took gambles, he took risks that you never seen Shaka take throughout the whole game. To me, Shaka was missing throughout the game. That's why I'm giving him a lower rating than Ceballos. And Ceballos, to me, was crucial to anything that we had positive going forward.
I'll just say this. I think I'll give both midfielders a 6 because it was just average performance. Really, there was nothing going about them, nothing special going on. Nothing that we could say, oh, wow, look at this player, look what he's done. just average, nothing good, nothing, mostly a little bit bad. So I'll give both of them a 6 or even a 5.
Yo, Kesh,
Yeah.
what do you think about Shaka and Ceballos?
Just unimaginative, no ideas when you get on the ball. Like, honestly, I don't know if it's the instructions or what, but the Danny Ceballos I know from watching, like at Real Betis and that, yeah, like it's not the same guy.
Yeah.
There's no courage when we get on the ball. Honestly, like sometimes there was a time I think he got it from Tierney. He could have turned and drived. He done a little shrivel, turned back and played it sideways to Xhaka, and I thought, well, that's the old play gone now. We're back to square one. There's no progressive passing.
There's no confidence in these guys dribbling at all.
Was the worst of out of Miles. He offered nothing in that game, and that's going forward and backwards. Nothing whatsoever. Completely oblivious during the game.
Are you still talking about Shaka?
Like, just do them together. Do them together, honestly.
Okay, okay. So, what do you guys give them? If we were to say one gets a 6 and the other one gets a 7, is that too high?
Too high.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Shaka 4, Ceballos 5.
Okay, Anthony.
Well, I'll go 5, 6. I'll go Xhaka, Ceballos 6. I see Ceballos trying to make things happen, but as you say, he doesn't drive at the players. He doesn't. But I don't know if that comes down to sort of Arteta. You know, Arteta is sort of coaching like he's playing FIFA. He's controlling everybody. Like you hear him shouting, "Danny, no, back, go back," and you know what I mean. Like Ceballos is looking forward, like let me play that killer pass, and then you get him sort of saying, "No, come back." He's sort of controlling everybody, but it doesn't take.
Listen, as a footballer, yeah, I understand the manager gives you instructions, yeah, but you've got to use your initiative on certain occasions when you're on the ball. Otherwise, you're not a footballer; you're just a robot. You know what I mean? Like the game, you can't play the game as a robot.
Yeah. Anthony's things froze. Again, it's okay. It's okay. He's a cool guy though. He's back. What do you call it? I'm gonna move on to Pepe, and what we're gonna do is the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna give each guy. We're just gonna give each guy a rating because realistically, there's no point of talking about each one right now.
No,
Pepe was dead.
Pepe, we have to.
Yeah.
Why?
Pepe. For me, Pepe, yeah, he's got ability, but you know what I noticed yesterday that came to my mind. He's not intelligent, and I'm not talking intelligent as in day-to-day life, book smart and all that. I'm talking football brain. He has not got a football brain. There was a time where I think the ball got played down the right flank, and he's edging in front of Walker, but he decided to touch it to stop the ball instead of taking a tuck and carrying the ball on in his stride. He stopped it dead, and I'm thinking, you're 1v1. You're 1v1. That's what you want. Let him chase you back. And for me, if you're a footballer with the pace as Pepe and the ability in 1v1, even though sometimes he trips over his own feet, you would have continued going to the byline there. For me, Pepe, I don't know what's going to become of him, but the future looks bleak for him, very bleak, honestly.
One thing I'll say about Pepe, he doesn't believe in himself. He has got no confidence in himself, and I think he's been lacking that ever since he came to Arsenal. I just want him to have belief and confidence in himself that he has the ability to do it.
But you see that, yeah, that comes to being able to cope with the pressure. Like some players got the ability, they just can't play for a club of this magnitude. And I feel that's what it is with Pepe. Not every player can go to the likes of Man United, Chelsea, and perform, no matter what they've done at their previous club. It's a different pressure, different ball game.
Joe, you see here, I did this comparison yesterday on when I was talking on Football Terrace. If you guys remember, Heung-min Son, his first year at Spurs, he was dead, right? He was dead. Second year, he was still not that good. He wanted to leave. Pochettino said, no, I want you to stay. And he became the player he is now. Can you see a similar road for Pepe?
I get that, but the thing is, Omin Song was always direct. When you're a direct player, you've always got a chance. Pepe is not direct. If he wants to be successful, he's going to change all this trickery and be a lot more direct.
Yeah.
There's nothing
And he needs the
worse.
work rate too.
I'm a defender, and there's nothing worse than a player that's direct and running at you. You hate that. You hate it. I'd rather play against someone who's going to get on the ball and bop it off, rather than someone's going to run at me. And right now, what he's trying to do with squaring up his man every single time, it's not working. So he needs to see the brighter picture. And I don't know if the coach is in at Arsenal or trying to show him that. You know, if they're not, then they're not what's it called, earning their money.
Okay. Anyways, Anthony, what do you think about? Let's move on to Willian. What do you think about Willian? Because Pepe, I think we're all giving him a 5 at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Kesh, you giving him a lower grade than 5?
Oh, I said Shaka was 4, so I've got to give him a 4, mate.
Okay, I'm giving Pepe a 5. You're giving him a 4. We'll even it out at 4.5. Now, Willian, this is what the Chelsea fans were telling us about Willian. They're telling us he's hot and cold. He's hit and miss.
Hey, bro.
By the way, big up to JR Fizzy. Big up to JR Fizzy. And then yeah, what are we saying about Willian? Because Willian, well, yesterday was.
You know what? I feel sorry for him. Go on, Ant.
Williams, for me, he's looking a bit basic. I don't agree with sort of where Arteta put him through the middle, or as a false number 9, or I don't know what he was doing with him. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what's happening, man. Do you know what I mean? I feel like Willian just looks basic. Like, I don't know if this is the guy, if he looked better at Chelsea, or he's warming up, or he's here to get paid, or I don't know. But I'm not too happy with sort of what's happening with Willian. That's really it for me, man. Like, I feel like
we got 2 more years of this, mate. He just got here.
And the worst thing is he's of age. Just like, how's he gonna improve more than this?
You know what? I think he's just a stopgap.
For me though, like, understand, like, I get why we got with him, his work rate and everything, but at the same time, we're not playing him in his best position, and we're not playing to his strength. Like, I see us trying to ping balls. Like, even when I saw a lot of pundits saying Diaz had a good game because he was dominant in the air and everything like that, but come on, you're playing against Willian. I expect you to be dominant in the air against Willian. You know what I mean? We're trying to ping balls up to Willian, expecting him to win it. Willian is a player where you play to his feet. He's good on the shrivel. He can turn on the off turn.
But he's direct.
Huh?
He is direct, though.
He is direct, but I'm saying we're not playing to his feet. You can't be direct if you're playing to his chest. And, like, you got to play to Willian's strength. Like, play in between the lines, link up play, and get him be one-on-one versus man. This formation, I understand, has been working, but now is the time to change. Now you've got someone in there who's an enforcer. You've got to change it. There's no excuse to continue. I understand we're not going to have the creative edge. Like, for instance, if we've got a Steve Hour in with Partey, it's not going to be that fluidity ain't going to be there. But I understand. Now we've got Partey there. You've got to change and try and get your players in their best position. Stop trying to make this team, what's the word? I don't even know the word, but we're not playing to Aubameyang's strength. We've got him out wide, put him up top, put Willian out wide, and Saka left, or so on with Pepe. Put these players in their best positions.
Facts.
That was
odd. Honestly,
it was odd yesterday.
Can I say one thing? I'm overruling everybody. Aubameyang absolutely embarrassing. The fact, the
Embarrassing.
way we were playing him, the amount of money he's on now, don't turn into a Roosevelt Part 2. Everyone's scared
Eesh.
that you're going to get burned a second time now. So at this point, just play him in the comfortable position that he was in and get him back in goal scoring position. Because we play next? Leicester. Right?
Yep.
Then we have Manchester United. If he doesn't score for the next 2 games, people are going to be on his head. And
You know
this
what?
guy's a defense guy.
You know what's frustrating? When I saw the lineup, I thought he done what I wanted him to do. I genuinely thought Aubameyang was
Aubameyang
playing
through the middle.
Willian was on the left, Pepe was on the right. I was like, yes, this is the game. Like, we're going to give it to City. Like, that's the formation. Then when I actually switched the channel over, I saw the way we line up, I was like, oh, still the same shit in it. So,
Yeah, SM agrees with you. He's saying, I don't want to see Aubameyang down, back down. What? Down the middle now?
down
No
the middle.
more.
I
No
want
more
to see
left.
Aubameyang on the middle, no more left wing.
Yeah, facts. Everyone agrees. And yo, I'm just gonna say, let's end the power ratings. Let's end the ratings here, because I don't think the guys who came off the bench didn't have that much of an impact.
Nah.
Lacazette,
No.
Eddie Nketiah,
No ratings.
Partey,
NA.
even Lacazette. When did he come on?
I
Like
can't remember.
78 minute?
Yeah, it was too late. When
They all
But he
came in
weren't
so
even
late.
playing up front.
He wasn't even playing up front. I saw him so
He
deep.
was
I thought he
playing
was playing the midfielder.
defensive midfielder.
I was playing the centre mid. Honestly.
What was
I don't
going
get
on,
it.
man?
I don't get it. Okay, so let's talk about it. Who outclassed who? Sorry.
But I don't think anyone got outclassed. It was
Yeah.
a terrible game. Terrible game. Even for the standards of Man City, it was terrible. I know people say they didn't get out second gear. I don't think that was by choice.
Mm. Yeah.
Tottenham versus Arsenal
I think,
women.
yeah, I
tonight.
think we sort of were all over him. We were all
Yeah,
over him, so they couldn't really get out.
We had the better chances.
Yo, let me
Yeah,
ask you guys a
that's
question. Could the women's team, the way they're performing, and the amount of like the way Arsenal's women's team performing, why do you think they don't care about making men's team better, or is it just what is it? Why is it that other parts of our athletics seem so good? Like our academy seems so good, everything seems so good, but then the first 11 and the first team is just trash.
You know what? It's the youth and the women's teams are less competitive. I mean, there's no money in the women's football. I mean, the most expensive women's football is like £200,000. That's all that is, and so there's less competition, less money required to be good in women's football. And on 23s, it depends if you have a good academy, and we have a good academy. Well, men's football, the first team is the hardest thing to be good at because there's thousands of clubs around the world that you're competing with. So it's obviously going to be harder for the first team.
Okay,
Listen,
so
I see that comment, yeah. I guarantee you, yeah. Klopp, Willian in a Klopp system, yeah, would be doing a lot more. You've got to play to your players' strength. We're trying to accommodate players. We're trying to accommodate our weakness. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to accommodate our weakness by putting Aubameyang on the left because you know he's going to work back and work hard. But when we should be putting our best players in their best position to get the best out of them. As I said, I've got no arguments with the way Arteta has had us set up in the past because we had our frailties, yeah. But now you've got Saka. Obviously, I'm not his best fan. I'm not his greatest fan.
yeah.
But you've got to play a three with Saka, Ceballos, and Partey. And if not Saka, Ceballos, Partey, then you play El Neni. But that's not by choice. That's because of us not making the right moves this summer. We knew we needed 2 centre mids. One's an enforcer and one that with a creative edge, and we didn't go and get him. That's in the past now. We're in the season now. Our next window is always till January. We've got to make the best of what we've got.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of fans saying, obviously, when we was on the football terrace, they're saying, "Oh, you lot are moving reactionary." No, we're not moving reactionary. It wasn't so much the tactics that I was upset with. It was the optimism that in previous game I see a lot more work rate. We didn't work that hard yesterday. We didn't add that intensity in our game, and I feel that's what let us down yesterday. Am I right? Or
Yeah.
I completely agree with you, bro. But the thing is, I'm more optimistic. So what I try to take away from these kind of games is I try to say, hey, at least it wasn't as as the way it was the last 3 times we faced them, where we were 3-0 down in the first 20 minutes. We held respectably until the 20th minute. We conceded a goal off an error, and they really didn't open us up. As much as people want to say we lost 1-0, they didn't really open us up and like destroy us.
They didn't. At the end of the day,
No,
we had
we
better
didn't get
chances.
ruined.
If we had taken them, it would have been a different game. We didn't take them. We didn't. That's just
Yeah.
the way it is.
See,
That's what before
I think-
the 1 second.
One
When we
second.
done
Let him
when we
catch.
done the
Go on,
preview,
go on.
me and you both said City can turn up, but we will make chances. And it's all about our forwards being clinical, and we just weren't on the day.
Yeah, I want to read some of these comments before you speak, Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
If I was Arteta, I would make David Luiz and Tierney captain. They're the only leaders. Basically, that's what he's saying. He's talking about Willian here. JR, he's saying Willian has always been a useless clown. Would take someone like him. Aubameyang doesn't have the dribbling ability to play on the wing. JR has also said only Arsenal would play one of the best strikers in Europe on the wing. To have prisoners up front,
Pensioner.
a pensioner up front as a false 9. Oh my God, JR's coming in hot, and then you got SM saying, "What? We don't deserve to lose yesterday. One of Saka's and Aubameyang's chances went in, and we did not play great, but easily could have walked away with a point at City. And if Thomas Partey must start, you know what? That's kind of my kind of approach to things, and." Sign Danny Welbeck.
You know, he would do better than William. That's all my potential for.
Okay. What are you saying, Gunnar, Anthony?
Yeah. I was saying basically it's difficult because we didn't play with a focal point. We didn't play with a striker. We didn't play with Lacazette or Eddie or Aubameyang up top. So we were sort of toothless, you know. Like we can do all the hard work, but if we've got no one to sort of aim for, you can't score the goals, man. Well, you can, but it makes it that much more difficult, if you get what I mean.
Yeah,
I think
it's difficult.
He complicated things yesterday. Like
He
I'm not afraid to
complicated
say
things. Make it
complicated
simple. Make it simple.
Okay, so what would you have done to make it simple?
Striker.
So
I would have
Lacazette
put Aubameyang
had
through
to
the
start.
middle. Yeah, or Aubameyang
You know what
through
is
the
though?
middle.
You know what is?
Played.
You know what it is though, yeah. I agree we should play Aubameyang through the middle, but the thing with playing Aubameyang through the middle, you're gonna have to play fast, fluid football because he's not gonna hold the ball up, yeah. And in order to do that, you need that player who's gonna play them key passes through. Like you
But
need
why
someone
didn't
who's
you do what Leicester did?
yeah. But that's the way Leicester plays the Vardy strength, and I don't feel like the type of striker Aubameyang is. He's not the key personnel for Arteta to play through a middle. Like you're looking at a Sergio Aguero, someone of that profile who can get on the ball, and can also run in behind.
Okay, what about yourself,
This is
Samuel?
it's either yeah. Go on.
I mean, really, it's disappointing. If I thought we were going to go like we did against Leicester did like a couple of weeks earlier, which is, you know, when Sia out, we just go on attack, but we're just so negative the whole game that we never even bothered. Even when we're 1-0 down, 70th minute, I mean, we've got nothing to lose. We're not drawing, are we? So just go for it. I mean, Arteta was scared of, you know, losing 2-0 or 3-0. So he just, you know, he had that little sense of fear, like, I don't want to lose 2-0 to be out of the game. I'm just going to sit back and hope for the best. But really, we were losing and we should have just gone for it all out.
You see the way we played, yeah? Don't get me wrong, yeah? Honestly, it felt like Arteta was trying to kickstart City's team. That's the way he played. Literally, just go on. Get the season going. Literally, he done his mate a favour, honestly. Done his mate a favour.
Kesh, you know what I like to do. I like to always talk about the positive side of things. Let's talk about 3 things we learned and try to at least include one positive thing.
I'll go ahead up, bro. So thanks for having me on.
Alright, no problem. Yo, hold it down, bro. Kesh,
Cool,
try to include some positives in your 3 things.
First one is there's individuals, yeah, who's always making mistakes, yeah, and it's not just the one-offs. we've got to upgrade those individuals. Like they keep making these mistakes, so you see that it's not just the one-offs. That's one. Two, I've learned that Arteta, that not even Arteta, that we're well off it. We're well off it. It's gonna take a good, probably I said 3 seasons, yeah, before we can even talk about challenging. I reckon it's going to be a good 5 seasons before we can even start thinking about that. And the third is that I think Pepe is a flop. He's a flop, mate.
What?
He's a flop.
He's called it.
I said it, mate. He's a flop, bro.
But what about last game?
He's a flop, bro. He done one run and finished. Yes, any player, as I tweeted yesterday, any player can go and do that once in a while. For the player the money that we signed him for, he's not going to give you that consistency. He's not.
Wow, that hurts, man.
Has Pepe showed you that he's got more than, say, for instance, a Joel Campbell? Let's face it. Even Joel Campbell showed me a lot more. He's a lot more exciting than Pepe was. Don't let all these dribbles and that fool us, boys. Don't let it fool us. Honestly, you have to look at people. We got to start looking at the players that we haven't discovered. We need to start looking at their finer details of their game, and that's how we will know if these players are good enough for our club. And when I look at the finer details of Pepe's game, there's no consistency. There's no imagination of what. Like, you beat a man and he doesn't know what he's going to do next. Let's face it.
But what about? There's no defending this guy right now.
He's got the ability. Don't get me wrong. I'm not questioning his ability. He's got the ability. He's got the ability, but some players just ain't got that intelligence, man.
Okay, let me say one thing. I'm not trying to defend him, okay? But do you think it's a little early to say he's a flop?
He's a flop. You know why I'm going to say he's a flop? Because of the way Arteta's going to play. Listen, the only way you can get the best out of Pepe, let me break it down for you, yeah? You have to play it 4-3-3, yeah? You have to get a solid DM, yeah? Who's not only good on the ball, but good at winning the ball back. You have to let Pepe stay on the right wing as high as possible, yeah? And you need someone who's going to get on the ball, who's going to slip him through. That's the only way you're going to get the best out of Pepe. He's a system player.
And get him one-on-one.
One-on-one, that's the only way you're going to get the best out of him.
And get him
I honestly think
It's-
if he was in Liverpool, I think if he was in Spurs, I think if he was in any other team, he'd be killing it. It's just the way we're playing. That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Okay.
For
understandable.
me, he's not.
So does
don't think
Arteta
he's
get
a
the blame
flop.
as much as Pepe? Does Emery get the blame as much as Pepe?
But then again, he hasn't got the personnel, and I don't think he wants to risk it. Obviously, it's a question of if he wants to go bold, big and bold and brave.
It worked when we had Martinelli, Pepe, and Aubameyang play that game against West Ham. I think it's the personnel.
Obviously, we know that's Pepe's left foot. We know he's got a sweet left foot, bro. We know he's got a sweet left foot. He can do that.
What
There's
about
no
the Champions League final, bro? That goal that was disallowed.
He's got a sweet left foot, bro. Left-footed players are got the sweetest left foot, the sweetest strikes. Every left-foot player I know in my life, they got a sweet strike on them. They can do that any day of the week. But is that enough? So you're telling me, okay, we need to get Pepe in a situation every game where he's going to get half a chance to get a shot off. That's basically what you're telling him. If he's not got that, if the defender's not giving him that chance to get a strike off, he's not doing anything else in the game.
He's got to improve his decision making, I think, Pepe. He's got to make them decisions quicker, man. You can't be playing off the cuff like that. It's too much of that, man. Because if man don't let you go left, you're trying to go right, and then you get locked up. Make your decisions early and stick by them, man. You know, I think that's where Pepe goes wrong. But I'm not saying he's a flop yet. I'll hold judgment.
Who used to piss me off, like, I think Walcott was opposite, yeah, because sometimes Walcott had the pace, but sometimes he tried to do this neat, close touches, yeah, trying to be a player that he's not. and it used to let him down sometimes. But I'm thinking, you got the pace, just get the ball in front of you and drive. Pepe needs to start doing that more often.
Play
I think
to his strengths.
once you can acknowledge that he's not all the time you're going to get to beat your man. You're not Neymar. And I think then you might see an improvement. But it's been what now? It's coming up to a season, a year or something now he's been at Arsenal, yeah? And I'm not seeing enough of that. So I don't know if the coaches are speaking to him and saying, listen, this isn't street football. It's not street football. You get your head up and you play. Sometimes a give and go is the best option.
Keep it simple.
Because when you give and go, yeah, it's up to the man that's marking you to react to your run. Like the likes of when you see Bellerin for us. Someone gives a give and go, and then
I'm not gonna give up on the guy, man. I'm not gonna give up on the guy.
No, it's not over for him. It's definitely not over. He's too young.
When we buy a player, we don't think we will be bringing in
what they will bring to our system.
That's true. That's true. Arteta should have what? Arteta should help Pepe develop a killer mentality.
I think he's trying. I genuinely think he's trying. Like, if you saw the way Sterling's improved at Man City, I think he's trying, but you've got to want to be that killer. You've got to want it.
Look at what they did with Riyad Mahrez. They changed him.
Sometimes with his body language, yeah, like I just see a person it's like, as he said, he don't believe in himself. There's times when I think, yes, Pepe, you're gone, and then it's just
he
underwhelming.
Cuts back and gets tackled.
You know what I mean? It's underwhelming, bro. Like, it's frustrating.
Go, Pepe.
It's frustrating, bro. I'll tell you.
No, he's young. He's young. He can still be molded.
I bloody hope so. Man.
I'll give you something.
I'm tired of that
guy. He's yawning. He was yawning, boy.
I'm tired of him, man. I'm tired of him. That's how bad it is. It's like, honestly, the Pepe talk, it's gotten to a point where it was like the Rob Holding conversation. I can't defend Rob Holding no more. And it's getting to a point where I almost cannot defend anything about Pepe. He has to start showing me something. He has to go out in the game. Yeah. He has to go out in the game, get 2 assists and get a goal. And that right there, those kind of performances is the games where you're like, yo, wow. Like, you know, when we see Havertz, we make fun of Havertz for his first performance at Chelsea. But then you see him do stuff against weak opposition in the League Cup. Like, it's also, we rotate our team so much. We don't give these guys a chance to get confidence against these shit teams in the Europa League.
Kai Havertz is a future Ballon d'Or candidate. Yeah, don't get it twisted, because when you see him at 4 games, don't confuse it, bro. This ain't Pepe. Yeah.
But it's the same money.
It is the same money, but he's a different level, man. He's different. Let's not compare.
That's why it hurts.
Let's not compare the two. At the end of the day,
the same money.
Raul Sinelli, yeah, he's got blood on his hand, man. He's got blood on his hand. I'll tell you that.
Yo, now we understand why they did the investigation,
mate.
I honestly, we're left speechless. Okay, enough about Pepe. I want Anthony, give us your 3 things we learned from this game.
I think I'll give you something positive. I think we can go at big teams now. I've learned that, rather than sort of sit back, let the team come on to us, and then we go with this counter-attack football, because you see how many chances we got, and the game was pretty open. So that's one thing I did learn, that we actually can go at teams. And we were playing 4 at the back, innit?
Yeah.
That's another thing.
3.
Was it a 3?
Yeah, Saka was left wing back.
Okay. Saka was playing left wing back. Okay. Well, I've learned that we can go at teams now. One bad thing I've learned, that false number 9 thing, I don't want to see Willian there again. But I've heard that Arteta wants to sort of incorporate that Willian playing at a false number 9. I'm not too happy with that, bro.
But you know what? That don't make no sense. When do you ever see a team play a false number 9 with 3 at the back? It don't make no sense. I see that happen when you play 4-3-3. I see that. You drop in the O and then you create space for your wingers to go inside, yeah. But never in the three at the back.
This is it, bro. I don't. That's one
And
thing.
even
I
if you're
learned
gonna
as
play
well.
three at the back, let Aubameyang play as an inside forward, not as a out and out touching the touchline winger as he
Winger.
was the whole entire
Yeah.
game. The man was playing like he had this Leroy Sané role. Like he was on the touchline.
Yeah.
Like I never seen him get inside to cut on his right foot at all. He didn't have one opportunity.
So frustrated yesterday. He looked so frustrated yesterday.
No,
But
So
to be fair, one thing we ain't spoke about, or a lot of people haven't spoke about, was Aubameyang missing that chance one-on-one with Edison.
Terrible.
I was thinking about that earlier. Yeah.
Okay, but
I got the image right here.
Terrible.
Okay, yes, one-on-one. If he does put that away, it's 1-1. You know,
it was like the first. It's very similar to in the league, the FA Cup game when he played the first chance he had, and he just hit it right at Edison.
So there you go. He did get a chance, but yeah, him playing out on that wing, he needs to, like you saying, he needs to come inside rather than being an out and out winger. It's mad.
Mm.
No one wants to see Aubameyang as Leroy Sané, mate. No one wants to see that, bro.
Although Leroy Sané is a good player, but that's not Aubameyang.
No, but he's not Leroy. Yeah, exactly. He's not Leroy Sané.
There's an opportunity he had as well. Yeah, he got it left wing. I think Saka played it into him, and instead of driving, he tried to play a pass to Willian, and he got cut out. And I just thought, that's not normally you. Like normally you just take it and run.
Oh yeah, the cross, right?
Yeah, crossfield pass. Yeah, I just thought.
Why are we crossing it into Pepe and Willian? They're not tall,
bro. I don't understand it.
You know, the most depressing thing to see is as an Arsenal fan, when we have Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, his service is nothing. And when we had Giroud, his service was Alexis Sanchez, Ozil, and Aaron Ramsey. He had so many options attacking wise. But last but not least, my three things: you have to play Pepe. I mean, you have to play Partey.
Have to.
You have to play him.
Yeah.
Have to.
You have to play Thomas Partey. If you don't play Thomas Partey next game, why'd you sign him?
You know what Terry was saying? Yeah, Terry was saying how he thinks this is Mikel Arteta's way of playing. I don't believe it is, because the way he's spoken about, well, what I've read anyway in reports saying that he wants Emile Smith Rowe to get games in this season. Yeah, where would Emile Smith Rowe fit into this formation? He doesn't. So for me, I do feel that we will change to a 4 at the back, and the quicker we do it, the better it will be. So I'm hoping that they're working on these things behind closed doors, and next game we can kick on.
Sure. Next thing I learned is Arteta is human. He makes mistakes.
Of course he's going to make mistakes. He's a new coach. I expected that when we first got him. He's a new coach, isn't it? It happens. Every new coach makes mistakes.
Yeah. Arteta makes mistakes.
Obviously, I understand some fans don't accept it. Some fans say, why should we have a coach that's learning on the job? It's long-term thinking. You have to think of the long term, innit?
Yeah. And then finally, we have 1 second. Let me get Anthony back. Anthony, you're back with us?
Yes.
Anthony, you back? Yeah. Okay. And then finally, the last thing I learned is it doesn't matter if you have a great spine, if everything around it is not working cohesive. You know what I mean? We keep talking about having Leno, having Gabriel, having Partey, having Aubameyang. But bro, having this great spine doesn't mean nothing if everything around it is inconsistent. Look at everything around the great spine that we keep talking about. Very inconsistent players. Next to Gabriel, you have David Luiz and Bellerin. Next to Partey, you have Ceballos and Saka. Next to Aubameyang, you have Lacazette and Willian. We could have this great spine, but it doesn't mean shit if everything around it is just you know what I mean, Kesh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I just think we didn't do enough, innit? I said it. We always do the half-done job when it comes to planning for a season. Always half-done, and I think it will come down to not getting both midfielders that we needed. That will probably leave us unstuck. when we assessed our season come the end of the season. We knew what we needed, and we didn't get both of them in it. So
listen, at the end of the season, as long as we don't see these kind of images, and we see the Champions League one, I'm happy.
oh, mate, I hope so.
Our next game is against the local pub team in Austria, in Vienna.
That's the key, innit? That's the key to the season, isn't it? Champions League is a must, otherwise, boy.
I just want to see these guys celebrating like this more often.
I'm keeping faith. I think we've still got a big opportunity to get top 4. It's not over. I'm not reactionary
It's
like
not
that.
over.
Like
That's
to say,
most definitely not over. Most definitely not over.
It's not over. I think we had some really positive moments. Like I said, I like to see us go at teams, and it was good.
Everyone below Liverpool and City is our rivals. Like City and Liverpool is not our rivals currently.
Yeah,
let's face it.
We're not there yet.
But I expect to win. I expect to win every game, though. Of
course. But you're not going to win every game. Obviously, as fans, we expect to win every game, but in reality, we're not expected to win every game, considering the way we're lining up and our personnel. Obviously, the next two fixtures against Leicester and Man United will be the test. Yeah. Those are the tests.
Yeah, that's sort of our level. It's our level.
You know what I mean?
Yo, what's going on, David? This guy's always around. Anyways, we're gonna head out here, bro. This is just a sad. It's not terrible, but it's just underwhelming. Because you expect to see some positivity. You know what I mean? But yeah,
100%, man, 100%.
What? Why is Claude saying Arteta out? What are you talking about?
Claude is reactionary, man. He's reactionary, bro.
Listen, Arteta hasn't even been here a year. Let's calm down.
Yeah, we have improved defensively, and there's nothing wrong with that. I expected 6 points in both of those games. Sure.
That's big.
Okay. Claude is a poison to Arsenal. You know what? I'm not going to get into Claude. Let Claude be Claude. That's what he does. If that's what he does, let him be him, man. At the end of the day, I'm going to be who I am. He's going to be who he is. No one's going to change anybody. But yeah, we're off this. Kesh, big up to you. You're going to watch the game now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anthony, thanks for coming on, bro. Big up to you. And we're going to head out, people. So enjoy yourselves. And remember, it's not always, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. It's not always darkness. so try to stay a little bit more positive.
That's real, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
We're off this. What's going on, everybody? I need you guys to go check out my channel and subscribe if you're new. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that button, and hit